It's not easy to stand out as an FPS in today's very saturated gaming market, especially as an arena shooter. Games like Halo and Quake are starting to look like old relics in an industry full of battle royale and hero shooters. And that's why it felt good to play Splitgate 2 in 2025. As a fan of arena shooters, I can tell that this game is trying to breathe life into a forgotten genre. 1047 Games invited me to try an early alpha preview of Splitgate 2, and I'm going to unpack all the new content I got to try. Now, this is a sponsored video, but that won't stop me from sharing my honest thoughts on the title so far. Of course, you could also try the game out yourself. Splitgate 2's open alpha is available now till March 2nd on PC through Steam and console crossplay on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S and X. Twitch drops available all weekend, and today I'll be breaking down everything you can expect with this open alpha. If you're a new or returning player, we got new maps, weapons, and modes, including a 24-player multi-team Portal Warfare, which is pure chaos. But first, I want to share a little on my experience as a new Splitgate player. I have very little Splitgate experience. I have seen videos. I've played like an hour or two of the first one. I've never given the franchise a proper try. I played a lot of Halo, and I understand this is like Halo plus Portal are supposed to be. I also prefer to play FPS on controller. Yeah, I know. And I think that's kind of why I never gave the series a proper chance, because when I see what people do on M&K, the craziness of portaling at a high level, like I can't even understand, right? It also looks like impossible to do on controller. But setting those feelings aside and actually giving the game a proper try, I quickly changed my mind. It was super easy to pick up, play, and have a good time with this game right out the gate. And it performed well out the gate too. I had my settings on default. It set me at 1080p. Most of my options were high and ultra. And on my PC, that felt smooth. I didn't know the exact frame rate, but it felt well over 120, and it felt stable. I'm sure I could have spent time optimizing all the settings the way I liked. It didn't feel like I needed to. It didn't feel like I was playing an alpha build of a game. The mechanics, the gunplay, they felt good. I spent most of my time using the Arrows carbine. It's like a 3 or 4 shot kill. It's basically a Halo DMR. I'll talk more about it later. They got a slide in the movement now, of course. I liked it, though. It's not instant at a sprint. You got to sprint for a couple steps before you can slide. If you go down a ramp, you go very fast. You can chain slides like a bunny hop through the environment, and you can steer it. That feature felt unique. It's like you have a lot of control.
I think you can turn your slide as you're sliding. That's a thing.
Yeah, you kind of slide like a little bit.
Yeah, you can steer it around like a snake. A little bit. It's kind of dope because it helps you aim.
Your opponent is going for a capture.
And then combine that with this like double jump jetpack that you have, and the movement feels reminiscent of Titanfall, but with like the floaty air strafe quality of a classic arena shooter. Honestly, the movement felt powerful and intuitive enough on its own that I didn't feel like I needed portals to get around the map. And I think that's part of the reason why it was easy for me to embrace this game on controller. Because admittedly, I didn't use the portals that much in my play session, but that didn't stop me from thoroughly enjoying the gameplay and having games where I felt like I popped off and played well. And that doesn't mean that portaling isn't still a very valuable, skillful part of the game. They've actually simplified it this time around too. It's just one button press, right bumper on the controller. I shoot one wall, shoot the other, walk through. The classic one input per portal, it's still in the settings if you want it. And then of course you can look through and shoot through your portal, and you can also shoot through and walk through your opponent's portal, but you can't see through it. So there's like a gamble at play. You got to be careful. It is a sort of like mind-bending and hilarious mechanic to get used to. Like the first time I tried this, so I've got a portal here and a portal here. And if I want to shoot over there, then I realize I have to look to my left. So I'm sitting here, I'm trying to kill this guy through the portal, and then I just die. And I realize my dumbass is standing in the middle of the street, in his direct sight line. And I guess that means you can also kill yourself this way.
The prophecy is true.
This was my first time trying to hit like a route with the portal. Like the round is counting down, and I see the vision, right? I'm a portal here, I'm a portal there. And then I'm going to go 2 top mid, I'm going to get the triple kill. I portal right, portal left. And then I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go in the portal, right? I still get the triple though. Excellent. But that was like a light bulb learning moment for me, right? Because I realized, okay, if you want to hit a route with the portal, you got to go for the far exit portal first, and then shoot the entry portal and walk through at the same time. And then with a little practice, you realize, you can wrap the entire map using this strategy. And then, of course, you get all the craziness after that. But I found that learning at that pace was exciting. It allowed me to appreciate the portal mechanic in the game, combined with how effective the movement was on its own. I think if properly introduced to people, there might be a winning formula with this game, regardless of peripheral. But I will wrap back to that. Let's talk new content.
We've already begun using that feedback to make changes across our roster of maps, starting with, of course, the first set released in the alpha playtest. For Frontier, there's several improvements to the exterior portaling options and better flow between the central floors. Ozone was the favorite amongst fans, but we've still added a few floor portals that can provide some fun moments. And Zenith, amongst more portal opportunities, has also been fitted with a launch portal through mid that can be chained with momentum. And that's just a taste. Future maps will already have this philosophy built from the start.
Whether you are brand new or returning to Splitgate 2, we got some good reasons to hop on this time around. There's new maps, new weapons, new modes. They've revamped the 3 existing 4v4 arena maps. They've added 2 more as well. This map here is Eden. It's very visually pleasing, unique looking in comparison to the others. I'll say it's a symmetrical map. Half the map is like an open plaza. The other half is tighter with rooms and corridors and an upper and lower level. This map was kind of challenging in standard 4v4. The outside of the map feels portal dominant. It's hard to move around safely because there's so many open exposed angles. But there's this 2v2v2v2 new mode that I got to play towards the end that felt really good on this map. It was like Halo multi-team, 4 teams of 2, and I think it was more of a timed experimental mode during the playtest. It felt like it allowed me to use all the sections of the map in different ways, and the chaos of it outside as well made it feel like I wasn't the main target, like I could kind of get in, get out, get my kills, and survive. And then we've got Bypass. In the 4v4 arena, this is Splitgate 2's largest, most vertical map yet. It's symmetrical as well. There's a man cannon that launches you out into the center of the map. You can tell this map is built around airborne combat. There's a lot of airspace to fly and like jetpack around. There's a portal on the floor that you can drop into for momentum and launch out of. I had fun with this map. It's a good play space for long-range weapons like the carbine. I spent a lot of time just not playing OBJ, farming kills, especially when playing Chaos mode. This is another new experimental limited time mode during the alpha. This mode is exactly as it sounds. It is pure chaos. They have cranked up the movement over 9,000, lowered the gravity. It's like that game Tribes. It's absolute insanity. Like you're flying around the map. The portals don't feel very effective because you're soaring everywhere. It was kind of hard to aim on controller. I'm not going to lie. I felt a little outclassed playing this. I'll come back to this and talk about it more. So these experimental modes are like limited time during the alpha. And then there's 2 new dedicated arena modes as well. There's Splitball and Firecracker. Splitball is like capture the oddball. I found myself on like a vibey content creator team with the Actman, Hidden Xperia, and General Kid. And we dominated Splitball. With Splitball, you've got like balls scattered around the map, and you pick them up and you bring them back to your base for points. But you can steal balls from the enemy as well. Honestly, I wasn't too focused on the balls because there was a deadbolt sniper on the map, and this was my chance to try it out. So like Halo, this game has power weapons. In the last alpha, they had the Fubar rocket launcher and the split stream. It's like an assault rifle that splits into 2 SMGs. In this one, they got a sniper as well and a baseball bat. I didn't really get to try the baseball bat, but I got killed by it a lot. It kind of reminds me of like the Halo gravity hammer. Honestly, I'm not sure if it's like OP. The deadbolt is like the Apex Kraber. This thing is super satisfying. It's a one-hit kill with the headshot. It does massive damage if you hit them anywhere. It felt maybe too easy. The no-scope was super consistent, almost the same as using a carbine. I feel like in the right hands, pros are not going to miss with this thing. And then there's Firecracker, which is basically search and destroy with respawns. You're either attacking with the bomb or you're defending. There's multiple places to plant. Once you planted the bomb and they're trying to defuse, that was when I found it was like the most fun, most intense.
I'm here. One of them is absolute on the bomb. Nice.
I can't aim, bro. I got him.
I got 2.
Another one here, another one here.
Go. Oh my god, so clutch.
Another one here.
All right, 10 more seconds.
Using the portals for maximum movement. Oh, look at us clutch up.
Hell
One
yeah.
on it, one on it, one on
You
it.
got Mitchell.
One guy on it.
Let's go. Oh my god.
Hey, let's fucking go.
I love that explosion.
Yeah,
That's pretty satisfying.
Aiming on controller was honestly kind of tough for me at times in this alpha. Like, maybe I'm just washed. I don't know. But there were moments when I was hitting my shots and moments where I was freaking whiffing everything. And sure, I didn't adjust any settings. I didn't adjust my sensitivity. I had never used the weapons before. So there's a lot of variables where I could have gotten more confident. But it felt like there was enough aim assist to notice that it was there, but less than I'm used to in Halo, honestly. And I might be wrong in saying this, but it felt almost as if there was the same amount of aim assist regardless of the weapon. I'm not sure if they've adjusted the AA from the previous alpha to now as well, but I felt like this had me come back to this sort of comfort zone of precision weapons like the carbine and the burst rifle, because if I used the assault rifle and had what felt like the same aim assist, like I was spraying everywhere, especially in chaos mode, using any kind of like spray weapon in that mode with the insane movement speed. I felt like I couldn't keep up. When I switched to the carbine and I really paced myself, took my time and just made sure that the shots hit, I felt like I was finally getting the rhythm going. I think with some practice and time with the settings, my opinion on it will change, but I'm curious to see what people think about it. There's definitely no shortage of weapons to try out in this alpha, though. The game is built around 3 factions, so there's Eros, Meridian, and Sabrask, and then each faction has its own special ability, equipment, and then weapons associated. Stay with me here. There's 8 weapons per faction now. You got 5 primaries, 3 secondaries. Every faction has a carbine, a burst rifle, an assault rifle, an SMG, and a shotgun. Every weapon can have 2 attachments, and every custom class can have 2 perks as well. If you're a COD fan, you've been here before. If you're a Halo fan, this is probably where I lose you. Honestly, it was pretty quick and simple to understand. It didn't feel like any of the weapons or the abilities were imbalanced in any significant way, at least in my play session. What I did like, though, is that no faction's weapons were the same as another. So if you're using the Eros carbine, for example, it's like a moderate rate of fire. Kind of feels like the Halo DMR. You go over to the Meridian carbine, and it's a faster rate of fire. It's like a beam weapon. And then you've got Sabrask, which is like heavy duty, slower rate of fire, feels like beefy. All the factions have the same base traits, but depending on your playstyle, you got a lot of options here. Like Eros is fast and aggressive. The special ability gives you a speed boost. Meridian's ability lets you see through walls temporarily. You can like spot portals. You can drop down like a health regen for your teammates. And then the Sabrask gives you like a hard light shield. It's always such a tricky balancing act with this stuff, like different classes and sort of hero shooter elements. If anything is too powerful, it hurts the gameplay. And if it's not significant enough, then it doesn't offer much strategic advantage. It's almost like it shouldn't be there at all, right? So finding that sweet spot where stuff feels like unique and useful and innovative is really tricky, I think, with what they're doing here. I kept it simple as a new player. I use the stim most of the time with the Eros class because I could get in the action quick. If I'm in trouble, a stim is very straightforward. Without a doubt, there's going to be a meta behind the factions, the equipment chosen, the attachments on the weapons. I'm kind of curious to see how it all evolves, especially in the large-scale modes like this new multi-team. Multi-team Portal Warfare is Splitgate 2's new large-scale mode. It's 24 players, 3 teams of 8. Definitely a highlight of the open alpha. It's played in 3 modes: Domination, Hot Zone, and Team Deathmatch. And this new map, Glacier, is massive. It's 20 times the size of their largest arena map. Honestly, the map was so big, the first time I tried to play it on PC, I had trouble loading it.
Okay, you've got
Gonna be chaos.
Oh, my frames.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hit
yeah,
that
mine
too.
did
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My frames, my
now.
precious frames.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
It's like constant hitching.
It's hitching, yeah.
your opponent.
What's happened to you?
Can't shoot anything without my frames.
Was your game freezing, though? My game's like kind of freezing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mine is
Mine
bubbling
had
a
done
lot.
that. I think it just kind of fixes itself over time.
Here's hoping.
I think it's like caching new areas in the map. So whenever I go to a new area, it starts it again.
Ah.
Once the map loaded the first time, it wasn't an issue again. I definitely had to ease my way into this game type, though. With 24 players and a slightly faster time to kill than Halo, things get crazy pretty quickly. So I'm on the outskirts. I'm not really playing OBJ again, kind of focusing kills, keeping my distance. Because once you get to center map and some of the tighter rooms, like that's when all hell breaks loose. You got like 14 people portaling in a tiny room. If you're a fan of Halo BTB, it's a good time. I think my only concern with the mode is it's kind of just like Splitgate Arena with more players. And I think that's, without a doubt, the big difficulty for Splitgate going forward is just finding ways to stand out in this saturated FPS industry. Like when I played the game, I played something that didn't feel like an alpha. This game was honestly refreshing as a fan of the arena genre to play something like this that out the gate felt as good as it did. That also has some depth and skill expression, even though I know it's going to turn people off. But like the portaling in a 1v1 context, there's a lot of risk reward at play too. Like you can see where they portal, you can hear it. There's a loud audio cue. So I found myself at times baiting players into using portals and then taking advantage, right? Like, as powerful as it is, if you take the time to embrace it, there is something special there. But will people embrace it, I think, is the question. I feel like Splitgate 2 doesn't quite have an identity. Well, a game like Halo has a footprint. You know, we know who Chief is. He's been around for a while, right? Like Splitgate, there's not much of a backstory or like a campaign that makes me care about it, you know? And for the games that didn't have that, like Fortnite, at least Fortnite had this new innovation of Battle Royale, and they had skill and depth that they concealed out the gate, right? People didn't know how to build then like they do now. So does Splitgate 2 have longevity? Can an arena FPS thrive in 2025? I don't know, but it's fun. And I'll be playing it a little bit this weekend. Feel free to come by my live stream. The alpha is available now to the public from the 27th to March 2nd. I might have drops. I've never made a Splitgate video before, so if you guys like the content, let me know in the comments. Like the video. What do you think is Splitgate? Should I make more videos on it? And as always, if you want more from me, right here, this is the way.